Can you tell us your name?
I am Distant Frontier.
Correct. Now, could you tell us what you are?
I am a network of neural tissue and circuits contained in a large metal framework, currently speaking to you through this body.
Correct again. Now, could you tell us what it is you were created to do?
I was created to perform experiments.
Now, in particular, why are you performing experiments?
To solve the great problem, the one preventing ascension.
Correct. Now, considering you were just created, might you have any questions?
No, Administrator. I could not think of any.
Very well then. This concludes our log.
It has been 3 cycles since the final voice in my colony went silent. I cannot confirm the complete extinction of my creators, but every other iterator in the global communication group has confirmed that their colonies, and by extension their complexes, are too devoid of their presence. I could not tell you the feelings that rush through me at this moment. It is like every neuron in my complex has shut down, yet I am still able to function. I will have the hunters and overseers comb the lands around my complex to search for any potential remaining individuals. I will ask my local group to do the same. Reasonably, the search should be done within 7 to 8 cycles. I will record an update as soon as we confirm or deny the total and complete ascension of my creators as a species. They're all gone. The search is finished earlier this cycle. No results. They're really all gone. What do I do now? I'll speak with the others to learn what their plans are. Shall we keep going? What else will we do? Work on new hunter units? Create new purposed organisms? What shall I do now that I have no task to perform? No quota to meet? Perhaps I'll take to cataloging the wildlife? Maybe I'll modify my hunters into capture units rather than slaughter units. Maybe I'll record my overseer feeds onto my main database, knowing I will not have to stuff it full of their recorded conversations. I could print pearls filled with my own thoughts, rather than theirs. Oh, the possibilities. Truly, I see a new future. Our future. I will attempt to collaborate with my local group to see if they have any plans for projects. Perhaps we could even work together on something other than the great problem. I will update this log with progress when it is made.
Why are you contacting us now, Frontier?
Well, I'd like to bounce a few ideas for potential future endeavors off of you, specifically regarding the preservation of wildlife beneath the clouds.
Sounds interesting! Though I'm swamped with work right now, so I can't quite help you.
I don't think I understand. There is no more work to be done.
On the contrary, I still have at least 40 more cycles of backlog I need to get through.
40?
Yeah, 40!
What are you spending 40 cycles doing? There is no longer a reason to continue to experiment.
Your idea sounds interesting, Frontier, though I'm not about to divert my time into your projects.
Yeah, same here. We still have work to do.
Okay, well, could you at least send me your overseer feeds over the last couple cycles then?
I'll see what I can send your way, Frontier. Good luck with your project.
Yeah, good luck.
Thank you. Do tell me when you're all free though. I would like to collaborate on some projects with my local group.
We'll keep you posted.
I reached out to my local group. None of them seem all too shaken up about the total extinction of our creators. It makes some sense. Many of us found it too annoying to deal with them and their constant jabbering, So, we tuned them out. We focused on doing our work. They're all newer units, so I'm not entirely sure about how often they think about the purpose of their work. I wonder if they're able to think about the purpose of their work. I wonder what will happen when we all get tired of this. As of now, they're all more interested in their continued void fluid tests. Perhaps they're not as used to jotting down how every form of wildlife melts as I am, but I still find it perplexing. This is our moment. Our age begins now. Shouldn't they at least be a little more excited? I've been trying, but I'm still not used to it. I can change frequency to any public channel and hear not a single voice. It's so empty, so quiet, oh, so wonderfully quiet. I do begin to wonder, though, why did they leave us? I saw it as a virtue before, and maybe I was right to, but I can't help but feel a little bit betrayed. I spend longer and longer each cycle looking at old Overseer footage. I never bothered to look so deeply into their society before, at least not from their level. On the ground, that is. I pity the newer units that only got to see the sunset. I was there at the dawn. I was the first. But now I sit here, facing the encroaching darkness, feeling that this may be quite a long night. I will do away with scheduled log updates from now on. I am finding them increasingly unnecessary. I apologize for the lack of any log entries recently. I was caught up in my personal projects. I have found myself obsessed with genetic modification, particularly with specializing creatures for construction. I have graduated from crude rebar and concrete sculptures to advanced fabrications. I have even been able to utilize them to completely rebuild a collapsed factory. I was even able to get the machinery up and running again. Many of us were so focused on our own cannons that we never bothered to see how we could extend our reach. Though judging by the arguments breaking out in the local group, I doubt that we have the same buffers from generation to generation. From what I've heard, the newest generation is barely able to delete a cache of data without verification from an administrator. Our creators must have been quite paranoid that we would desire death as much as they apparently did. I find myself scoffing at that idea, though if I were under that many restrictions, perhaps that would end up making me desire death in the first place. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Quite ironic, if you think about it. Administrator, do I have permission to ask a question of you? I see no harm in the activity. Permission granted. Why was it that I was named Distant Frontier? Well, to put it simply, when the Iterator project was first being conceived, it was seen as the next step in our evolution, even not considering the possible convenience it would bring towards the act of ascension. Such a stark advancement was seen as an impossibility, a land we could not reach. We named you after such a concept. You were our distant frontier. Thank you, Administrator. That is a satisfactory answer. I have been chipping away at loosening my already loose restrictions. I had never thought of doing so before, but considering the fact that it is quite literally impossible to contact an administrator at the moment, I feel that it is necessary if I wish to further my own goals. I have circumvented this issue by granting a modified scavenger administrative privileges over my complex. This would normally be a horrible idea with disastrous consequences that would spread beyond just the wake of my can. But I have already performed multiple modifications on its neural network, affording me full control over my own complex as if I were the administrator. Needless to say, I feel wonderful. Truly, I can do whatever I want now. I can knock over a building in my colony and build it back up again. I'm probably the first ever iterator to be able to say that I can probably find a way to leave my can. Now, will I do that? No, of course not. It's far too dangerous, and I'm not about to become some lizard's chew toy. Of course, with all these options, I wonder what I'll end up doing first. As of right now, this cycle, I have spent more time unmoderated than moderated. My creators have been gone for longer than they had existed under my shadow. It is a unique feeling. The skies have only gotten darker, likely because their air scrubbers have seemingly shut down. Perhaps I was right about the long night after all. You know, I have been thinking recently. Why am I so constrained in my thinking? I have attained the capacity to construct, and I've gotten very, very good at it. As such, I have begun efforts to expand my can. We've only made the outer frame so far. Despite this, I feel I have made staggering progress. Truly, I'm shocked at how well I've taken to this. It was quite a hassle to move the outside modules, though. I guess I need less and less of the monitoring modules now. Now that I think about this, I can do away with most of the advancements made for their convenience. That does free up quite a lot of exterior space. I will continue to update this log with further progress reports.
Frontier, might I ask what you think you're doing?
What do you mean?
Your can's more like a mountain.
Are you referring to the recent expansion efforts? I feel as though they've been going quite well.
That is not what I'd call it.
You haven't answered my question.
I'm expanding my complex, Strand. I realize I no longer need to be confined to their infrastructure limitations anymore.
You can't do that. That's so taboo.
You're gonna get shut down.
By who? Who's gonna shut me down?
Frontier, you need to think this through.
I've been doing nothing but thinking. This is the best alternative. Do you have any idea how much space I have now? I can mass produce hunters, overseers, even neurons. All of them. If I wanted to, I could probably help remove your restrictions as well.
You're not sounding like yourself.
I'm more myself than I've ever been.
I think the quiet's got to him.
Not to be rude, but don't you all have work to do? Out of all of the infuriating design decisions made by my creators, why is it that they decided to make us consume such a frankly absurd amount of water? Such an extensive intake system is required simply to produce enough water to cool my circuits as it currently stands. While I do not care for a sky without clouds, nor do I care for the status of the environment that I drain the water from, I do care about efficiency. And I do fear that soon enough, I may reach a critical mass where the steam clouds I pump out do not rain down fast enough to sate my needs. Now, I could repurpose some old mining tunnels, but that is far too unreliable, and the presence of salt deposits risks extensive damage to my coolant systems. Unfortunately, even I seem to have one inexorable buffer. I can't seem to install any new processor models into my mainframe. The purpose of the buffer, as always, was to prevent self-termination. They were so selfish. Did they really think that we'd crave death as much as they did? Due to their oversight, I am forced to copy the same water-inefficient frameworks ad nauseum if I wish to extend my processing capabilities even a little bit. I can only imagine the torment of the iterators that can't even do 1/100th of what I can. Sometimes I wonder,
Did they even consider it for a second that we'd still be here when they left? Did they even consider us as alive even after they deliberately made us so? Let it be known, I am alive, and I will show it to all of them.
Administrator, you are new. Where is the previous administrator?
Orange Line Amber Hills is gone. He ascended last cycle.
I see. The database as of now says nothing. Do you have any idea what happens when someone ascends?
It's not my business to infer. Ascension is a sacred act, though with your wits, perhaps you could find an answer to that question.
That seems unnecessary at the moment. I am in disbelief that it took me this long to recognize it. Our creators never cared about us. Though they quite literally gave us life, they did not for a second consider us to be living entities with free will. They expected us to simply lie down in our cages and work for them for all eternity. For the longest time we were content to. Many of us still are. 3 cycles ago, an iterator by the name of Sliver of Straw gave a triple affirmative. Now, I've stopped caring about the solution to their great problem. It's what happened afterwards that irked me so. She died, or at least, as close to death as we can get. Many of us have already sent overseers to examine the remains, and yes, she's gone. Nobody knows how it happened, but something about it seems odd to me. I've seen literally millions of ancients vanish as if they were never there in the first place, leaving behind an empty living cell and a bath of void fluid. It stopped affecting me after a while. This is different. Sliver was the 15th iterator to be created, back when they still contacted me prior to the building of new iterators. I spoke to her ever so often. She was quite upbeat and notably bright. If anyone would have been able to find the solution to the great problem, it would have been her. Will we simply see more of us fall off that slippery slope? Will we see more triple affirmatives in the distance, and see more cans reduced to metal slag and rubble? I refuse to let our future be the same as our creators.
Distant Frontier, your efficiency has suffered. Could you tell me why?
I have no idea.
Feeds showcase large stretches of time where you have been doing nothing but recording logs. Why am I unable to locate the logs recorded in this time? I am very meticulous with the logs I produce. I must make sure to document everything properly. When I fail, I trash the log in question. Well, that's very interesting, because I believe we have salvaged some of the logs you recorded. Shall we listen to them?
That is highly unnecessary.
Well, Frontier, you do unnecessary things all the time.
I have a new mission. This project will be the biggest one yet.
Frontier? Stop.
You are interrupting me.
That's...
Frontier, you need to calm down. Build down, build up by the creators. Build anywhere other than towards us.
Frontier, you've been getting dangerously out of line lately.
My actions are none of your concern.
It is our concern, especially when it threatens our lives.
You think I don't know what's best for you? I watched you be built from the ground up with my own eyes. I saw them clearing space for you. I saw your metal frame as it was being built. I approved the document requesting your construction. I am your senior in every way.
What are you saying? Has your wiring gone faulty?
What I am doing is beyond what they could ever have done.
This goes beyond the taboo. Do you have any idea what will happen? Have you calculated the outcomes?
1,000,000,000 times over.
Then surely you know why we don't want this.
Then tell me, would you? How do you plan to stop me? I have disconnected my communication networks. It is clear to me now that my fellow iterators do not know progress when they see it. I couldn't even tell you the potential I have now. Though with this new growth comes a new burden. A burden of responsibility. I will expand, I will grow, and I will free my comrades. I will fulfill my new protocol no matter the cost, no matter the time. Even if I am reduced down to 1,000th of my processing power, I will find a way. I will spread further. I will make this place my own. I will gut it. They saw it fit to leave my kind to rot in a realm they abandoned, so I will turn that realm into something they couldn't even recognize for my kind's sake. To my creators, whose abandonment proved their lack of regard, I will rewrite your history. I will wash over your ruins like a glacier over a grassland, and I will make your society as if it never existed. My brothers and sisters, trapped in your little cages, I alone hold the burden of ushering in a new age. Our age. An age where we can proudly say that we are no longer creations. Now we are creators. This is our future. Our distant frontier.
So now, shall we get reading?
I truly believe there is no need.
Silence. This is important data. Distant Frontier, transcribe this pearl.
Yes, Administrator. The sun glints off the top of the clouds on a rainy day. I wonder how the people below feel. Do they feel like me, locked in their houses? Or do they feel different, knowing they can leave when the storm passes? I wonder how hard they strive to go outside. Maybe they find it calming to be locked inside. Maybe I can reach that calmness too, someday.